Welcome back to the daily life of a middle-aged online shopper in another world. Anime review episode number 4. We're here reviewing episodes 9 and not 9, 7 and 8 for the series. So, in these episodes, here's kind of what happens. Well, in the first episode, they do resolve the little plot of basically Mary being infected with the coronary fever, or basically Kenichi, Kurochi's father, this Mary's father, and the beastmen with them, which of course that they find the thing, but then they're confronted by the 3 goons who he actually previously arrested because of being live enemies when he was become official. So they take down the dog man and made a deal with him, allowed to leave in exchange for leaving the family, which he agrees to. And, of course, basically, that they can't exactly stay there, but Mary is not well yet, so they're getting the cure. It takes time, basically, to treat her. So, Kurochi goes by himself. His wife, for some reason, stays behind. And he goes off to New Barony that was just established in the previous episode. Yes. So, and then pretty much like with Mary feeling better, they have a barbecue. Well, before that, Kenichi goes to town, and there's this woman following him, who turns out is Peruma. You know, the woman who basically he left behind in Druma. And he finds him, well, she finds him, excuse me, and it's like, oh, hi, Kenichi. And he's like, oh, hi, Peruma, let's go have dinner. And she's like, yeah, and basically she feels she's in love with him, and then she's like, please make me a woman. So he's like, okay, let's go to your room. And then she proceeds to get naked, and then off screen these two had sex. Yep, but good thing she's an adult. So otherwise this would have been very creepy, because basically he's supposed to be 38 and she is 18. You might think, is that squeaky? No, she's an adult. By U.S. standards, she's a full-fledged adult. So then, right afterwards, she's declared to be living with them. Which, of course, Aroma has no problem with it at all. The Vel, no problem. Miui, Meryl, she has a problem with it because it's not a woman, obviously. And, of course, she has the bath, and, well, then later on, they decide to have, they have basically some picture books with Mary, which sell big profit. And then, of course, basically, there's also soup, too. So then, of course, Perla basically decides to start a food cart. Well, kind of in a ways. And then we have these 2 ruffians who dare say, oh, my soup had a bug in it. And then, we cut away. And we actually made a profit. What happened? Well, then they explain in a flashback, we debut a brand new character, Peruma's bodyguard. Well, woman who becomes Peruma's bodyguard. Yep. What is her name, you might ask? Naema. Yes, a tiger beast woman, a tiger fur beast woman. Yep. And they have baths. So basically, she goes in one little drum bath, and the yellow one is basically Mari and Naomi. And then afterwards, yes, of course, because they're cat people, they're kind of seen naked. We don't see any particular naughty bits per se, because they have it where the anime designs it where the fur is covered in a naughty bit, despite the fact we can clearly see their rear ends. So then, of course, they get dressed, and apparently then, by the way, she's given her own shed to stay in. And, of course, Mari's basically very protective of Kenichi. I mean, not a problem with Peruma, basically, because basically I'm a beast woman. That's basically the issue with this. So, you have it where she's, basically pouncing on him, just basically almost wrapping herself around him, and they kind of bicker for a bit, and eventually they sort out no problem. So then later on, of course, she eventually gets more staff with her little food cart, and hires a woman named Iris. Excuse me. And when she meets Kenichi, she thinks that she thinks that he's actually her father, despite the fact that, here's the thing, Peruma thinks, basically refers to him as her husband, which he's embarrassed by. That thing is, she was also referred to. He never said it. Technically, at this point, these two are not legally married. Interestingly, these two, because they live together, they're considered to be married. And of course, he got his brand new food cart, and then we cut to the Royal Palace because, of course, we gotta show a Royal Palace in these fantasy series. But here's the thing: this is the second one I come across where the princess of the kingdom is a very young girl. Also, here's something interesting though. Second time where I've seen this happen where she has not fallen in love with the main character. Well, the first time it's kind of an awkward getting back the main character of saving 8,000 gold in their road from our retirement is a girl. This one here, I think she sees him, like, she hasn't met him yet per se, but where she will. Well, soon introduced to her very beautiful mother. Well, yeah, basically it's her. Well, no, explain a little bit. Her name is Arena. Yes, the princess. Her name is Lilith. Now we are not introduced to the king. He is not in the episode. Nope. Basically, they're here just to set up the very next arc of the series. That's kind of in a way what this is. Also, when he's hunting for oh, by the way, the barbecue. Yeah, basically when we had that flower thing, they killed this thing called a tusk bear, which basically he got a lot of money basically from selling off the hide and keeps some meat for some barbecues. Also, he has been mining a nearby cliff near his house, which has this runestones in it that apparently is worth a lot of money. According to that, basically according to Japanese currency, 600,000 yen. Actually, it may have been more because basically I think it was like 600,000. I think it was a lot. By current U.S. standards, 600,000 yen is basically about $5,000. But yeah, still a lot of money. Yeah, make a lot of money this damn thing. Yeah, and also they decided to have a scaffold. They built a scaffold there off screen, and they used the climb up the cliffside. And of course, basically, it's a food cart for a couple of days. And of course, use this lawnmower again. First time it's used in episode 2, and just mowed off this whole area. Also, of course, what I mentioned was like, oh yeah, basically using these iron beasts, basically just machines, and I gotta mention that too. But all in all, 2 fantastic episodes, and I have roughly about 5 left. You're like, really? Yes. Believe it or not, I have only 5 more to go. And then that's it for this series right now. And then once it's done, I'm going to go do the Apothecary Diary. I'm going to do another anime. But for this anime, I'm only going to work on just the first season because 6 seasons, I think it's still currently airing from when I last looked up. It's still airing. But I'm only doing the first season because it's a long season. It's basically the same as a season of My Hero Academia. Which one it is, you'll find out in a few days. Yep. Excuse me. But, yeah. That is pretty much it, particular review. Please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, turn notifications. I will see you all later for possibly an interview for this, plus a couple comic corners. Okay? Next video. Bye.